What's good? What's happening? What's up with you? It's the one and only Jubilee, and welcome to Everything No Niche. Now, I got a cool nice little video right here. It's a bracket video, as you can tell by the title. I decided, you know what? I think it'd be a good idea to do a bracket on the best albums from the 2010s. That decade was kind of special to me, you know what I'm saying? That was the decade of, being a high schooler, being early adult or whatever. But also that was the decade where I, just started getting into music even more than just the stuff that was on TV or the radio or whatever. And it was a lot of different music releasing back then. Even I was releasing music back then, still is now, but anyway. And there was a lot of classics that came out from the 2010s, and I'm looking at this little bracket list right here. Now, I didn't make this bracket. If I would have made this bracket, it would have been a whole bunch of different albums. Some of them I definitely would have put in here, but some of these is I already know that this one ain't gonna beat this one, that one ain't gonna beat that one, or whatever like that. But I don't know. But yeah, so I ain't gonna talk too much. We gonna go straight into it, because I already know that this may be kind of long, but I ain't gonna lie. I think the closer it gets to the end of the bracket, it's the harder it getting, the more I'm gonna have to figure out different stuff. So alright, so here's a little bracket right here. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of good little albums, like 1999, 444, Acid Rap, which isn't an album, it's a mixtape, but it's whatever. Got All American Badass, you got Astro World, you got Blank Face. Boom, we got this album right here, which is crazy because let me see how many albums that's literally on this bracket list that's up here right now. Let me see. I don't got none of these. Got this right here. I ain't gonna waste too much time on that. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get to it. First up, we got 1999 by Joey Badass and 444 by Jay-Z. This one's gonna be kind of difficult for me because the fact that Jay-Z is my favorite rapper. But this gonna sound crazy, but 444 is one of those albums that I didn't really like from Jay. So I'm definitely going with 1999, because 1999 was it was special to me, because it came out when I was 16. I didn't know that he was just also 16. So when I found that out, it really put a battery in my back to you know what, I need to really work hard on music and whatever at that time. Yeah, I'm definitely going with 1999 over 444. Next up, we got Forever Is a Mighty Long Time and Acid Rap. I'm gonna be honest, I actually have not heard Acid Rap yet, but regardless, I already know that this album is definitely gotta be better than Acid Rap. It sounds crazy, but yeah, I'm going ahead and picking Big Crit. This one is kind of easy for me as well. I gotta go with Joey Badass again with All American Badass. That's a better album. Next up, we got Astro World by Travis Scott and At Long Last A$AP by A$AP Rocky. I'm gonna be real, I think this album I really wasn't rocking with like that. At Long Last A$AP. That's probably my least favorite project by A$AP Rocky. It had some great songs on there. I remember when it dropped, I was bumping a bunch of different songs on there, but I was like, you know what? It's not really that good. And I ain't really, but then again, I don't know, if I listen to it today, I'll probably like more songs off of it. But I ain't gonna lie, both his first albums was kind of mediocre, but the songs that was good were great. Now Testing, I think that was a great album. Testing is my favorite A$AP Rocky album. But with Astro World with Travis Scott, this is probably my favorite album out of all of them. So this one is definitely going to the next round. Next up, we got Danny Brown Atrocity Exhibition versus Freddie Gibbs. I literally forgot the name of this album. I'm not even gonna lie, and I can't see the name of it right here, but I'm gonna be real, gotta go with Freddie Gibbs. So next up, we got Barter Sets and Blank Face LP. Gotta go with Blank Face LP. That was definitely a way better album than Barter Sets. Blank Face LP by Schoolboy Q, definitely going to the next round. I wonder how far that one will go. This one might be a little difficult. I'm not even gonna lie. Nah, I hate this. Okay, so this next one, Because of the Internet by Childish Gambino versus Down by Kendrick Lamar. I ain't gonna lie. As much as I really want to pick this one, I'm picking Kendrick. Next up, I ain't even gonna lie, I don't know what this album is and haven't heard it before. So Pusha T, VA Stand Up. We definitely going to the next round, even though I really didn't care for this album either. So that whole 7-song album run that Kanye was going on, I really hate that he did that and shortened just to 7 songs. Cause anyway, next up we got Good Kid, Mad City versus the Carter 6. Definitely going Good Kid, Mad City, and I'm not picking that one like hella fast just to like throw away the Carter 4. Like the Carter 4 was definitely a fire album. I remember when that dropped. This one might be my second favorite Carter out of all of them. If I'm not mistaken, is the way that I rank it, I think is and the Carter 2 is number 1 for me. Then it's the Carter 4, then it's the Carter 3, and then it's Carter 1, and then down, and then Carter 5. Because I really did not like that album. Yeah, definitely going with Good Kid, Mad City, and I'm going to predict Good Kid, Mad City may end up winning this entire bracket. So I'm gonna just predict that really early on. Dang, and I already see what it's going against next. I'm picking Isaiah Rashad over Future, DS2. I didn't really like Future that whole entire run, which people are calling like his classic run. I really wasn't rocking with his music back then. He had a few songs on this project that I did like, but Sylvia Demo is it by Isaiah Rashad. This dropped my senior year in high school. This album, it's not even an album. This is an EP that was 14 songs long or whatever, but this EP, this album was like just special. I remember playing those songs back when I was in school, and just, you know what I'm saying, just this album, just this project was just different. Like this was definitely like soundtrack type. When I get older and I make a biopic, this like there's songs on this album that's gotta be like, I might even do a biopic. I might do like a little, you know, a series or something, just so like different like episodes can have different music, you know what I'm saying? So this Sylvia Demo is definitely a great project from the 2010s, and I hate to do it to it. Like I said, y'all see, this is definitely going to be going up against Good Kid, Mad City, unfortunately, but we ain't on that part yet. All right, so next up we got DiCaprio 2 by Jid versus Coloring Book by Chance the Rapper. I really don't remember which one of these I like the most. I think matter of fact, I do remember which one I liked the most. I did like Coloring Book just a little bit more than DiCaprio 2. So Coloring Book goes to the next round. Next up, we got The Pink Print by Nicki Minaj versus Dial-It by Playboi Carti. Not a Playboi Carti fan, so we're gonna go ahead and get him out of here. Boom, no hate. I'm just saying I'm not really a fan like that. Next up, this one is difficult. It's extremely difficult. This one is extremely difficult right here. And I'm not gonna be biased because of the fact that you got the vinyl right here, you feel me? But that one is definitely going to the next round. J. Cole's 2014 Forest Hill Drive versus Faces by Mac Miller. Yeah, Faces by Mac Miller is also one of those projects, which also is not it's not an album, it's a mixtape. I don't know who made this bracket, but they put too many mixtapes in. I don't want to say too many, but some of these projects aren't even like albums. These are mixtapes. So it's not really fair. And then they didn't really pick like a lot of the popular ones from the early, like from 2010 down to 2015. There's more like, I feel like hip hop Twitter type people made this list. As much as I really enjoyed Faces back when I was in high school, which is around the same time I was, like I said earlier about Sylvia Demo by Isaiah Rashad, I was really bumping this project and like had songs on shuffle. It'll go from one song from Isaiah Rashad off Sylvia Demo, then they go to something off of Faces. Then they go to something from off of I think the mixtape was called Trap Wiz by Wiz Khalifa. I think that's what it was called, Trap Wiz. It was so many different songs back then. This is also senior year, so but I have to go with the album that it hit the same way it did with when I first heard Good Kid, Mad City. Oh, I didn't even say how much Good Kid, Mad City meant to me either, but I'll wait to the end. 2014 Forest Hill Drive going to the Nets. Next up, another vinyl that I got. Oh wow, it's literally right here, right behind me. Boom, it's right here. Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator versus Flockavelli by Waka Flocka Flame. This Flower Boy album by Tyler the Creator took him to like a totally different level, and yeah, this is literally one of my favorite artists right now. So this album definitely going to the next round. Next up, we got Imperial by Denzel Curry versus Without Warning. Imperial goes to the next round. Next up, an album versus a mixtape. I just said a few rounds ago, like this, whoever made this bracket really messed up. Marshall Mathers LP2 by Eminem versus If You Reading This, It's Too Late by Drake. If You Reading This, It's Too Late. I wasn't really a big fan of it back then. Did like some of the songs off of it. I thought it was just an okay mixtape. Years later, I did listen to it again all the way through. Stuff that I didn't like, I did like, and whatever. So this is definitely 100% going to the next round regardless. Now we on this ain't the semifinals or nothing, but this the Nets tier or something, I don't know. But anyway, 1999 by Joey Badass versus Forever Is a Mighty Long Time by Big Crip. Both are great projects. One is a mixtape again, and one of them is a fire double album. But as much as I really rock with Big Crit in this album, gotta go with 1999. Gotta go with 1999. Next up, we got Joey Badass again with All American Badass versus Travis Scott Astroworld. Definitely gotta pick Astroworld over that. Next up, we got Freddie Gibbs versus, I can't remember the name of this album, versus Blank Face LP by Schoolboy Q. Blank Face LP is definitely 100% going to the next round. Next up, we got Done by Kendrick Lamar versus Daytona by Pusha T. I'm definitely going with Kendrick again for this round. The next round, the round that I dreaded the most, man, we got Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar versus Sylvia Demo. As much as I want to have that on the opposite side, so both of those, so it could be TDE versus TDE, I gotta pick the, you know what I'm saying, the actual, oh snap, another literally another album that I got sitting behind me. That's crazy. Okay, anyway, definitely going to pick Good Kid, Mad City over that, unfortunately. Next up, we got Coloring Book by Chance the Rapper versus Pink Print by Nicki Minaj. Definitely going with the whatever the name of this album is, Coloring Book. Next up, whoa, this is difficult right here. Hold on, time out. So these are both two vinyls that I got. Both of them really great albums. We got 2014 Forest Hill Drive versus Flower Boy. This album right here, I ain't gonna lie. I'm definitely gotta pick that one over, you know what I'm saying? So Forest Hill Drive go to the next round. Next up, we got Imperial versus If You Reading This, It's Too Late. Definitely going with If You Reading This. That goes to the next round. Next up, we got 1999 versus Astroworld. I'm definitely thinking 1999 is definitely going to the semifinals. Next up, we got TDE versus TDE again. Blank Face LP by Schoolboy Q versus Damn by Kendrick Lamar. This one is difficult, but I'm definitely going with Kendrick again. So he goes to the semifinals. Next up, we got, I think, hold on, does that count as the semifinals? I really don't know. Oh no, it doesn't count to the semifinals. This is like I don't know. I ain't even gonna compare it to like actual sports. But anyway, next up we got Good Kid, Mad City versus I ain't even gonna, this goes to the next round. Anyway, next up we got we gonna go ahead and get Forest Hill Drive. to the next round. Now we starts to get a little bit tricky. Do I put 1999 to the next round, or do I put Damn to the next round? I think I'm thinking, you know what? I'm definitely, I'm gonna put 1999 goes to the next round. That was difficult. I know some of y'all that's watching will probably be like, you know what? I would have definitely did the opposite. But nah, 1999 definitely going to the next round. I think that's the semifinals. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's definitely semifinals. And the last on this side, this is difficult. Man, I wish they went and did this bracket like this. But Good Kid, Mad City goes to the semifinals. Now, for all the marbles on the left side of this bracket, gotta go with, of course, Good Kid, Mad City. I literally predicted that was going to go to the end. I literally predicted that. Now for the right side of the bracket, I'm going to go through this entirely fast because I'm already recording for like 28 minutes now. And I don't really want to make this a long video. The longer the video is, the longer I'm going to have to edit. So yeah. But anyway, next up, first on the right side of the bracket, we got Jeffrey by Young Thug. And we got Kid See Ghost by Ye and Kid Cudi. I really wasn't rocking with Thug at that time, so I didn't really hear this album. So definitely gotta go with Kid See Ghost, even though I did not like that album. So that just know that that's definitely gonna lose in the next round in the bracket. Next up, we got Live Love ASAP by A$AP Rocky versus Still Brazy by YG. I ain't gonna lie. Seeing these two albums up against each other annoys me because one of them is a mixtape once again, and then the other one is a good album. But out of all the albums, I'm surprised that his actual first album isn't on here, and that's My Crazy Life. That album I probably would have put, I don't know, but Live Love ASAP is a classic mixtape. That's up there with Cushion Orange Juice and just all the classic DatPiff.com live mixtape era. So yeah. Next up, we got My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West versus, I think that might go to that literally might go to the finals. I don't know. Versus Long Live ASAP by A$AP Rocky. I hated how he titled his first album and his mixtape somewhat similar, but definitely gotta go with Dark Fantasy by Ye. So that goes to the next round. Monster by Future versus Summertime 06 by Vince Staples. I'm definitely going with Summertime 06. Next episode, this one is a little difficult. I should have known that these would be difficult, but then also annoying when I looked at the list and I was like, some of these albums are my favorites. Some of these I don't want to, put something else over it. And some of these are mixtapes. I was like, I should have known that this particular list was going to be a problem. But we got Nothing Was the Same by Drake versus Watch the Throne by Jay-Z and Kanye. Man, two fire albums in my opinion. This is my favorite Drake album. Watch the Throne is my favorite collab album. I want the vinyl for both of these albums, but one don't exist for Nothing Was the Same, and the ones that came out for Watch the Throne were all sold out and expensive. Matter of fact, I think I seen the vinyl for Watch the Throne for sale for like $800. I ain't paying that even if I had 800 million. I'm lying. I would definitely pay for that if I had 800 million. I would literally get them to make me a copy if I had that much money. But anyway, I'm definitely going with, I don't even want to say definitely, but I'm going with the album that I'm vibing with the most. And once again, I'm taking it back to when I was in high school and my senior year. So I'm definitely gotta go with Nothing Was the Same by Drake. Next up, we got Taboo by Denzel Curry versus Teflon Don. Teflon Don is definitely going to the next round. Boom. Classic album. And it was short. It was like 11 songs. So when you got an artist that can probably record about 30 to 40 songs and then pick the best, like narrow it down to the best like 10, that's fire. Next up, we got Drake versus Drake. We got Take Care by Drake versus What a Time to Be Alive. I couldn't remember the name of the album, and that alone is making me want to go ahead and pick Take Care. I was gonna pick Take Care regardless, but anyways, Take Care is a classic album. I remember when this dropped as well. Like, I remember downloading it I literally remember the day downloading this. I at school how I downloaded all my albums, and then this particular day I was in the library, and I really remember downloading this, and then going home and then listening to it. I was like, yo, this is a vibe. Like I really rock with this. So Take Care definitely goes to the next round. Take Care, I don't know, let me look at this bracket real quick. Take Care, When Nothing Was the Same, and Dark Fantasy are definitely the heavy hitters on this right side of the bracket. To the next round in this bracket, we got Saturation by Brockhampton versus some rap songs. I'm gonna be honest, didn't hear Saturation, and I don't remember some rap songs. All I can remember is that I did not like some rap songs. So that being said, I gotta go with the album that I did hear. Next up, I don't think this one counts at all. I think Recovery by Eminem, I thought that came out in like 2009. Maybe it didn't, I don't know. Versus, I can't remember the name of this Freddie Gibbs mixtape, because it's not an album, it's a mixtape. But I'm definitely going with the Freddie Gibbs mixtape over that. Next up, we got Wolf by Tyler the Creator versus Yeezus. Yeezus goes to the next round. I don't think this album definitely not going far in the next round. Now that I'm looking at it, it's going against Life of Pablo. I already know Life of Pablo is going to the next round versus Run the Jewels. But Life of Pablo is definitely being that. No, it's going against that Freddie Gibbs album. Anyway, next up we got two albums that I have not heard before. So I'm gonna go with the one that got the better cover. The one that I think probably would sound better. I don't even know. I think that's JPEG Mafia, I think. I don't know. Some of y'all that's watching probably like, yo, how he never heard this? Like, I ain't hear all this backpack rapper shit, man. Like, the most, I don't know. That's why I said somebody from hip hop Twitter made this. Like, the real super duper nerd rap fans probably made this. Like, I don't want to make it a race thing, but I feel like somebody definitely non-black made this list. Because there's certain albums from the 2010s I would have definitely put in this list. He was gonna put mixtapes in this, I would have definitely put Cushion Orange Juice in here. I would have definitely put, if not that, then if I would have really put an album in here, I would have put either Rolling Papers or ONFC. Something from Wiz Khalifa has to get into this. Niggas, whoever this nigga put Killer Mike in this. I really want to know who like the age and the race of this person that made this bracket, because ain't no way that they I'm picking the better cover, I guess, because I ain't hear these two albums. Anyway, to this next round, we got it from here by Tribe Called Quest versus Running Jewels. I don't know if this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Literally all the albums have that same 2 fingers and a fist. It's whatever, but anyway, Tribe Called Quest goes to the next round. Next up, we got I think this is Brockhampton again. Don't know the name of it. Really want to go back and listen to Brockhampton's discography. It's literally another one right out. Yeah, like this is definitely I ain't gonna lie. This bracket ain't hitting. They ain't even add like enough for the. They could have at least added like at least an album from a SoundCloud rapper or something. I don't know, man. I'm definitely picking this Travis Scott Rodeo album regardless. That goes to the next round. Next up, and it ain't no need for this next round, for this next part of the bracket, we got ain't no need, because I did not like Kids See Ghosts at all. So boom, Live Love ASAP by A$AP Rocky goes to the next round. Next up, it's Dark Fantasy by Ye versus Summertime 06 by Vince Staples to this next round. Take Care by Drake versus Teflon Don by Rick Ross. Both are great albums, but I gotta go with the album that I like the most, and that's Nothing Was the Same. This next round is not even a question. Take Care definitely going to the next round. Unfortunately, I do not remember what this Freddie Gibbs album sound like, but I think even regardless, I probably would have still picked this Ye album. So that goes to the next round. Like I said, I did not hear this album. So boom, Life of Pablo goes to the next round. And Trap Called Quest goes to the next round. Definitely Spring Butterfly goes to the next round. Next up, we got Live Love ASAP by A$AP Rocky versus Dark Fantasy by Ye. This one is kind of difficult, but I gotta Ye goes to the next round. And unfortunately, I probably would have said Live Love ASAP goes to the next round. I don't know, like something's gotta give. You know what I'm saying? This is not an album. This is a mixtape. So Gotta go with Dark Fantasy. Even though I still would have probably picked that one anyway. But anyway, next round, Drake versus Drake. Again, this is wow. This is crazy. I know which album I'm going to pick, but I want the suspense to kick in for y'all that's watching. I know what album I'm gonna pick. This one is wow, this one is difficult. Because both of these albums are my favorite Drake albums, but one of them in particular is my favorite the most. And I'm gonna say that Nothing Was the Same. Nothing Was the Same to me is definitely better than Take Care. I wouldn't say definitely better than Take Care because that's like me saying which album is better. September Butterfly or Good Kid, Mad City. Gotta go with Nothing Was the Same though. That goes to the next round. Next up, we got Ye versus Ye, Kanye versus Kanye. Definitely picking Life of Pablo over Yeezus. Next up, wow, almost like sat down and disrespected Tribe Called Quest. Like, I almost like skipped through it, like, yeah. Respectfully, this album, because I'm only saying that because they some legends, but this album, Pimp Butterfly, is special, not just to me, but it is to music, it is to the culture. Definitely going with Pimp Butterfly. Goes to the next round. Oh man, let me look at this bracket real quick. We got the heavy hitters versus their heavy hitters. Okay, there's only 3 heavy hitters. Never mind. Okay. I'm looking at this bracket and I'm like, this is crazy. We got Dark Fantasy by Ye versus Nothing Was the Same by Drake. My nose is getting stopped up while I'm recording this, so when y'all watch this and y'all like, yo, what happened to his voice? Like, why is he getting nasally? I'm going with Nothing Was the Same by Drake. That goes to the next round. And it's crazy because that's another vinyl. Both of these are vinyls that I want. I would rather wait to get Dark Fantasy because I already got the CD. I remember the first time I heard this CD. I went to the store with my aunt. It wasn't Christmas, but it was like a few days after Christmas. It was when I got my first laptop, and I remember going to Walmart with her, and I was about to walk out. For those that is watching it that don't know, Jamie Foxx is my favorite entertainer, right along with Will Smith. So I remember when I was a kid, I had bought both not his first album, because evidently I found out years ago that he had an album in the 90s. So technically it's the second and third album that I had went and bought, which is Unpredictable and I don't remember the name of the second one. And I should have that second one, but I don't know where it happened to it. But Unpredictable is definitely a classic R&B album, and the second one to me, but the first one for sure. But that was one of the reasons why I was about to walk out that store with Jamie Foxx's 4th album, which is called, I think it was called Night of My Life or Best Night of My Life or something like that. But that album, I listened to that album like after I downloaded it months later. Man, I was so happy I dodged that bullet, because man, that album was trash. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. But what made me stop, I was at Walmart that day, and I remember I was like, you know what? Let me look and see. Make sure I'm sure that I want this, because I ain't seen nothing in there. I remember I was like, you know what? Before I walk out this store, let me just look. Right when I was like, all right, I'm out. That's it. I don't see nothing. I'm about to leave. I was literally about to walk out the aisle, and boom. I was like, wait a minute. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Is this red case? Does this say Kanye West on it? And I was like, oh, wait a minute. And I looked at the price. I turned it around just to make sure it was an actual album. It wasn't like a single CD or whatever. There it was. I saw the track list. I was like, all right, you know what? I want this. I'm putting this back. This is like one of the best decisions I made in history. I ain't even gonna lie. This is a difficult choice, but yeah, it don't matter. I'm definitely picking. If I click on it, it was difficult because I was trying to click on it with the mouse and it was not working. So I'm definitely, anyway. September Butterfly, fire album. I remember the first time listening to this album, and I'm gonna say this now because I just don't know if it's gonna make it to the end. I'm definitely picking September Butterfly regardless. Anyway, now for the semifinals, this is a difficult one. For the semifinals, we got, I don't know if it's going to be, I want to spice it up a little bit. Now, sheesh. I was looking at this entire bracket, right? I did not know which one of these albums was going to make it to the end. It easily could have been Dark Fantasy by Kanye. It easily could have been Love Live ASAP, Long Live ASAP, whatever the name of this album is, man, this mixtape was, man. It easily could have been the album that is in the finals now. It easily could have been Take Care. It easily could have been Some Pimp a Butterfly. Man, I hate to do it to it, but definitely picking Good Kid, Mad City for all the marbles. Good Kid, Mad City wins the entire bracket. We got a winner. Good Kid, Mad City, people. Classic album, fire album, phenomenal album. Album meant a lot to me back when I was in high school. It was my junior year. The storyline of the album, he was 17, I was 17. It just worked perfectly. A lot of stuff about this album resonated with me at the time. It came out at the perfect time. Good Kid, Mad City will always be special. I knew it was gonna go to the end, so much that I even predicted that at the beginning of the video. I shouldn't have did that, but I should have had a little bit more suspense. So that was cool. That was a little interesting. I've barely been able to record any videos just from procrastination and just being uncomfortable. You know, all of this stuff is an art, you know what I'm saying? I'm an artist, so all this stuff is like, you gotta be mentally prepared to film. You gotta be mentally prepared to do all this stuff. So with that being said, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for watching this video. In the comment section, let me know what y'all would have picked for each little spotlight. Which one you think would have beat this? Which one do you think would have beat that? You know what I'm saying? Like, which one you think would have ended up being fire? Like, which one you think that should have been on this bracket? Because I think a lot of these albums really shouldn't have been on here, and some of these are mixtapes, so I should say a lot of these projects shouldn't have been on here. And then tell me like what you think beats all of this stuff. I know a lot of y'all probably would say Good Kid, Mad City. Some of y'all would say Drake. Some of y'all would say J. Cole. Some of y'all would say Kanye. But shout out to every artist that won this bracket, because some of y'all I do want to work with one day. Anyway, man, it's the one and only Covilly. If y'all like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see me do another bracket, because they definitely got a bunch of different brackets like this with different albums, different projects, share this video, you know, with people. If you like this video, subscribe. I got a bunch of other videos on this channel. Matter of fact, before I let y'all know to subscribe and let y'all know what Everything No Niche is, it's basically just me doing whatever I really feel like, because I don't like the concept of niching down on a YouTube channel. Streamers don't have to niche down. You know, there's a variety of streamers out there, so there should be variety content creators, you know what I'm saying? So you might see me pop up with a vlog one day. You might see me pop up with a mukbang one day. You might see me doing an experimental video, a challenge or something like that, or a news video. Most of my content is based on music, in it, like just entertainment and pop culture, specifically music, hip-hop music, if anything, and R&B. It really based off of music and pop culture. And I do gaming videos as well, literally about to film one. Anyway, this is the one and only Covilly. Thank you for watching. Everyday No Niche, Covilly. I'm out. Peace.